Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to clean out the intake of your jet ski. I'm using a Yamaha Wave Runner, and it's going to work on many jet skis as well. So if you get any check engine lights, or you might have run through any debris in the water, things like that, this video is exactly for you. I'll show you how to diagnose the issue, what tools you're going to need, and show you step by step how to clean it out. Let's get you guys back on the water right now. All right, so there's my jet ski. I had to swim it back into the lift here. This job's gonna be really easy if you have a trailer or some way to lift the jet ski up out of the water. I would not recommend doing this submerged, but let's first talk about how I diagnosed that I had something in my intake. So we're going around the lake. You see it's a beautiful little area, but there's a lot of vegetation, and I know there's some seaweed and stuff and weeds that can come up out of the bottom. So what I experienced, and what you'll probably experience as well, is the engine will run, but it's going to feel like it's overheating, and you get no propulsion, you get no acceleration from the jet ski. That's likely because debris has gotten up into the grate and has blocked the actual flow of water through the jet ski, propelling it forward. All right, so that's probably what's going on with you. I also, even though I did the first step, which I'll tell you in a second, it didn't work, and so I knew I had something deep in there we had to fix, and I eventually got the check engine light, and the jet ski was not happy with me. So towed it back into the dock, and let's go ahead and take a look underneath the hood. All right, so we're here in the water underneath the jet ski. Let me show you what the first thing is you can do, and you can do this before you ever bring it onto a lift. You can just hop off the side of the jet ski, kind of hang on to one edge, and make sure obviously the power is off. Like, gotta make sure I say that too. And then if you look underneath, you're gonna see right here, if you have like a lot of seaweed or vegetation, you might see it clumped up right here, and that's just going to prevent the flow of water, like a filter, to come through here. So you can just reach underneath and grab and clear that out, and that might be as easy as it is. In our particular case, you'll see we actually have a lot of vegetation and weeds up inside here, so we're going to need to remove this grate to fix the job. And to do that, there's just a few bolts on over here, here, and when we take that off, we should be able to get this thing out and get up underneath and clean it out. So the first thing you want to do is get out a ratchet set if you have one, and just try to find the right size. I'll tell you what the size is in just a second. I'm just going to take one of these that I think is close enough, test it. That was too small. That's probably it. And mine is a 1/2 inch. Yours is probably going to be the same, but it might be a little bit different. So now we're just going to go ahead and attach the ratchet to it and get these bolts off. When you're doing this, just be very careful not to drop any hardware in the water. That would be annoying, so let's be very careful. Now you'll notice here on this screw there's some silicone that is worked on it, so if you can, be a better seal if you spray some silicone on top when you put it back onto the, when you install it back, to make sure that you have a good watertight seal. All right, one down, let's do the rest. So a couple screws in, they were getting pretty stuck in here. It wasn't the exact right size. A 15-30 ratchet is working better for me. So let's go ahead and get the rest of these off. Hopefully they come off easier. Whew. All right, so when you're finally done getting all the screws out, I'm gonna hopefully, carefully keep my ratchet right here. This is not the best idea. I'd recommend you have something to actually hold your tools nicely. And you should be able to just slide this right out with a little bit of help. And there he comes. And now he's out. And I can look up here and see exactly what the problem is. Let me show you. All right, so you might not get the best view, but see, in our particular case, I've got a whole bunch of seaweed and vegetation that got wrapped all around this stick, for lack of a better term. I'm not a mechanical guy, but the thing that turns around and makes everything work in here. So now it's as easy as getting a knife or whatever your tool of choice is and clear out whatever gunk you might have. It could be a piece of plastic, could be a bag, could be anything. In my case, it's a whole bunch of seaweed. So let's get to cleaning. Let's see if a simple box cutter will do the trick. This is just one little handful of what I found in there. Let's kind of give that back to Mother Nature, and let's keep working. Wow. It just keeps coming. All right, it took just a couple minutes to go and clear that all out. Let's take a look at how it is now. Get you off here. And now we can see the rod again and the shaft. That's looking fine. And I can look all the way back and clearly see the prop or the jet or whatever it's called. Again, not really a mechanical dude, just showing you how to do this as we're figuring out together. So the last thing to do is just repeat the steps in reverse, put everything back together. I was holding on to this grate thing, so let's go ahead and put that back on. It should just slide right in, and then we'll screw everything back together and be done. All right, to put those back together, just remember you've got these little brown or black rubber squares, and you've got these slits in the grate. So you want to stick it up in there, and as you're coming towards, just make sure you're getting the square to fit into the appropriate hole, and then everything should slide in a little bit. You might wrestle with it for a little bit, but it'll go in no problem. Let's go ahead and do it. All right, now I'm just holding it in place here. You can see I've got it, but it's held loosely in place. Let me just go ahead and get 1 or 2 of these bolts hand tightened in again, and we can tighten it up and be done with the job. Go ahead and get this one guy started up here, and let's get another bolt right here. Be very careful in the first few turns. Make sure you don't cross thread anything. Now you can relax your shoulders for a little bit. I'm gonna get all of these hand started. All right, so all the bolts are hand tightened. Now would be a fantastic time to get some waterproof sealant and just coat the screws a little bit, or the threads of the bolts, and go through. Unfortunately, I don't have any right now, so I'm gonna go to the store and get some and put it on when I'm done with this job. So let's go ahead and tighten it up now to show you the finish of the job. It's always a good idea to do the star pattern, so don't just go in one circle around as you're tightening. Kind of bounce back and forth like you're drawing a 5-pointed star, and tighten the bolts that way. Just make sure it goes on nice and even. I'm also not going to tighten all the way down. I'm going to get all of them pretty well tightened like this, and then finish it all off with some good tightening at the end. And I over tightened it, and I lost my tool in the water, so I'm going diving to find it. Success! All right, once everything is tight, and not too tight so you don't break your tools, the job should be done. So let's test it out. We'll put it back in the water and see if she's running nicely. And we get to do the walk of shame back to the shore with our toolbox. All right, everything's working just fine. I took it out for a little run. No fumes, no warning lights, nothing like that. Fired right up, and was a great day on the lake. So if you found this video helpful, please give it a like, help more people find it, and subscribe to the channel to get more tips about how to live your best lake life. All right, guys, take care. See you in the next video.